RBI circulars or other means regulatory authorities updates for your JAIIB CAIIB exams, and important tips, so many tips on your means recovery front, on your credit front, on your deposit mobilizing, all other things. We will be able to bringing up some special sessions on those things also. In case required, we may bring some experts. Students may also suggest in case they want to have some special session, like if a majority of students come up with some special sessions, we may opt for going to that also. So now coming to this special session means that RBI circulars will be just focusing on one particular RBI circular per session, so that we can decode the entire circular, bring the important points which are required for you, and in between to clarify your all doubts on those particular circulars. This is what the main motto. So I hope everything is getting me, my audio and video, everything clear. In case of any problem, just relog in, relaunch, yeah, close the issues and close the session and come back. So everything should be fine after that, I hope so. Now let us go into that, our session. Now, what is actually most important regarding this RBI circulars? You might have went through during your JAIIB CAIIB exams mainly, that lot of questions were framed from those RBI circulars. It happened in 2017, 18 or so. So many means questions were out of syllabus. It's not exactly out of syllabus, but it was out of the books. But it's related to the content only. So that was mainly focusing on the latest RBI circulars, latest RBI updates. From those only they brought a lot of questions. So what happened? People unaware of all those things missed a lot of the questions, could not answer correctly, and so many issues. So many people got failed also. They feel very bad. They sent a lot of messages also stating that a lot of questions were out of syllabus, out of the book, so and so. But friends, to be frank, our IABF had very categorically mentioned, means the questions will not be restricted to only books. It can be from anywhere within the purview of those particular topics only. So it can be latest updates, anywhere it can come. And apart from JAIIB CAIIB exams, this will be very much useful for your bank promotion exams, internal interviews, and for those who are already not in the banking and aspiring to be a banker. For them also, the lot of questions comes from RBI circulars. Moving to today's session, we are just focusing on PSL, priority sector lending. So we will be just decoding the policy guidelines on priority sector lending. We will just go through one by one. There will be a lot of data which may be very much important. Apart from that, the important points and all, I will be just noting it down. Otherwise, you can just go through, and the things which you will be requiring the most and you may not be aware of this priority sector lending, there we will focus more, and we will be just giving what is exactly that and why it was not updated to you for all those days. So those all we will be covering up, and we will coming up with some questions in the later. Now, this is what I just mentioned, what we are going to cover in this particular session. Mainly the objectives of the PSL, then the evaluation, how the PSL guidelines have been evolved for the last so many years. Then priority sector targets for different banks, targets and sub-targets for different banks. And the categories, what are the categories under PSL? Then there is a PSLC, that priority sector lending certificate. What is that and what is the importance and how that can be used by the banks? Then the compliance aspects, mainly how to monitor, how they are monitoring the compliance, and in case if not achieve the target, what are the implications? And the major changes which have come for the PSL in 2020. Then after that, we will be practicing some MCQs. I hope you are all are getting me clear and able to view everything in the screen, friends. Just in case of any friend, Mr. One is may not be able to, you may not to take notes. We will be sending a PDF file of this, and the recorded video will also be available. No need for taking the note. In case of any doubt in that thing, you can post it on the comment section. Otherwise, you can mail me, message me later on also. We will be able to reply you. Okay. Yeah, now moving on, objectives. The main objective of the priority sector lending is the credit linking the deserving but deprived segments. Means what happens that due to non-availability of these guidelines, there were so many deserving people, those who were not able to get the loans from the banking, yeah, other in this one directly, and they were not able to grow. So this PSL was mainly introduced for all those people very much deserving but deprived till now, and to ensure the flow of credit to the productive sectors of the economy, persons those who are in the productive sectors, but they are unserved till now. They are not getting the timely and adequate credit also. So to cater those people, this has been again brought in. Then, as a last, to lend directly to the beneficiaries. Actually, what happened? The banks lend to some mediatories, then they otherwise the mediatories from other sectors they will be lending into people charging a higher rate of interest. So to avoid all those things, this priority. So these are the main objectives of PSL. This evaluation, this may not be required for your exam point of view or other things, but you must know how these priority sector lines have been evolved for the last so many years. Like in 1968, they increased the priority sector financing mainly for agriculture and SSI. Then in 72, the priority sectors were described and the categories were also formalized, but there was no target fixed. In 1974, a target of 33.33 was fixed, and that was to be achieved by 79 March. In March 80, the target of 40 fixed to be achieved by 85. 2007, the guidelines were revised. In 2012, again they suggested revised guidelines. 2015, again the guidelines were revised, and in 2020, the guidelines were revised and a comprehensive review was formed. So these are how the PSL were evolved for so many years, and now we have the latest circular of October 2021, which major minor changes incorporating so many things. Now the targets means the total priority sector target. Now we are just looking into just to have the numbers. This will be very much important because a lot of questions used to come during your exams and a lot of questions were asked during the interview point of view also. So the targets and sub-targets normally they were set under priority sector lending, and that is to be computed on the basis of ANBC and COB, means the adjusted net bank credit and credit equivalent of our balance sheet exposure. This calculation and all we will be knowing in other. So now for understanding, this is how the priority sector targets are calculated. And now different banks, how they have been allotted. Like for domestic commercial banks and foreign banks with 20 branches and above. Normally 40% of NBC or COB, whichever is higher to be achieved. That is their target. Then foreign banks with less than 20%, for them also it is 40%, but out of which 32% can be in the form of lending to exports mainly, and but not less than 8% to other priority sectors. They can use the 32% of the out of 40% for lending to exports, but at least minimum 8% should be to other priority sectors. And regional rural banks 75% of NBC, but that lending to medium enterprises, social infrastructure, renewable energy should be reckoned for achievement only up to 15%. They should restrict up to 15% for medium enterprises, social infrastructure, and renewable energy. For small finance banks, it's 75% of NBC. Now the sub targets. How these targets are divided into various sectors, various categories. Like for agriculture, it is 18% of the NBC, and up to, out of which 10% for SMF, that small and marginal farmers. That is for domestic commercial banks, excluding RRBs and SSB, of course, and foreign banks with 20 branches and above. For foreign banks with less than 20 branches, it's not applicable. For regional rural banks and small finance bank, it's exactly the same, 18% of ANBC and 10% for SMF, same for small finance banks also. For micro enterprises, it's 7.5% of ANBC, and it's not applicable for banks, foreign banks with less than 20 branches. It's same 7.5% for regional rural banks and small finance banks. And for advances to weaker sections, it's 12% for domestic commercial banks. Foreign banks with less than 20 branches is not applicable. RRB, it's 15%, and small finance banks, it's 12% of ANBC. Now, this is the special targets for urban commercial banks, urban cooperative banks, sorry. So the total priority sector is there also it's 40%, but which will stand increase to 75% with effect from March 31st, 2024. And it will be stipulated in the following milestone. They had given the milestone also, like by March 31st, 2020, it's 40. From 21, it's increased to 45, 22, it's 50, 23, it's 60, and 24, it's 75. This is what the milestone they had been given for urban cooperative banks. For micro enterprises, it's 7.5% of the NBC. And advanced to weaker section, it's 12%. I'm getting everything clear, friends. In case of any doubt, please post on the comment section. For now, yeah, it's not exactly only for the central banking optional. It's for all the means what certificate courses and the electives. Means wherever the priority sector related things. Now we are going with priority sector. Other circulars when you will be coming up, that will be definitely useful for your central banking optional. Post your comments in the comment section, friends, in case of anything, so that I can go through and I can understand whether you are able to get me or not. Yeah. Now moving on to the target for small and marginal farmers and weaker sections. That stand revised from financial 2021 and 22. It's as follows. Like 2021, the small and marginal farmers target is 8. Then it revised to 9 in 22, 21, 22, 22, 23, 9.5, and 23, 24, 10. But these targets are not applicable for urban cooperative banks. For weaker section targets, it's 10, 11, 11.5, and 12. But the weaker section targets for RRBs will remain at 15%. It is not applicable to RRBs, these updates and all. Now, let us go into targets agriculture. Like overall lending to non-cooperative farmers means the overall lending for the non-cooperative farmers, it should not fall below the average of last 3 years achievement. That they have to maintain that it's not coming below the last 3 years average. And the average figures for computing the achievement of PSL to be notified every year. And all efforts should be maintained to reach the level of 13% of direct lending to beneficiaries. And agriculture credit target for financial year 21-22 was fixed at 16.5 lakh crore, and it's already achieved. And for 22-23, it has been budgeted as 18 lakh crores. Now, this is a special section. Please pay attention to this. You may not be aware of this particular section. That's why I specifically brought this one. Like adjustment for weights in PSL achievement. Means there are it's been divided in various district wise, and there are some districts where they should they can able to achieve the target, and there are some districts where these people, the districts which could not achieve the target. So to incentive to address these issues, what has been done is that districts are ranked on the basis of per capita credit flow to private sector. So they have been ranked, and an incentive framework like for a district with comparative low flow of PSL, where the PSL credit is very low, there is an incentive framework formed, and where it is higher, then there is a disincentive framework was formed. So accordingly, from financial 21-22, the incremental priority sector credit, a higher weight of 125%, that is the higher weight of 125% in the identified district where the credit flow is comparatively lower, that is per capita PSL is less than 6,000. Means where the per capita PSL is less than 6,000, that weightage for achievement had been given as 125%. Then for the lower weight, means a lower weight of 90%, where the comparatively per capita PSL is greater than 25%. This is to incentive, means where the flow of credit in PSL is less, so to incentivize them. And for all other districts, the existing weightage of 100% will be continuing. But the district list, the list of districts which are given are valid only up to financial year 23-24, and they will be reviewed thereafter. But RRBs, UCBs, local area banks, and foreign banks, including wholly owned subsidiaries, would be exempted from adjustment of weight in PSL achievement. For them, this is not applicable. So this you may not be regularly coming through. That's why I thought this, especially we will keep one particular segment on this to make you understand this, in case where the districts are not able to achieve their target, they have been given a incentive scheme like for higher weightage in achieving the targets. Now the categories. Now the priority sector lending, they are categorized into 8 categories mainly. First as agriculture mainly, then the MSME, then you have export credit, then education, then housing, then social infrastructure, renewable energy, and others. So this priority sector lending is categorized into the following 8 categories. Now let us see one by one. Agriculture. So normally the lending to agriculture will include farm credit to individual farmers, farm credit to corporate farmers, including FPOs, FPC, like farmer producer organization companies, and partnership farms, cooperatives farms engaged in agriculture and allied activities. Then agriculture infrastructure, then ancillary activities, then we have small and marginal farmers, then we have lending by banks to NBFCs and microfinance institutions for on lending to agriculture. Now we will see one by one. Farm credit, that's loans to individual farmers are including SSGs and LHCs, properties farmers, they are directly engaged into agriculture and allied activities. This farm credit is coming under this. Allied activities includes dairy, fishery, animal husbandry, poultry, pea, sericulture, etc. Now this will include crop loans to farmers, medium and long-term loans to farmers for agriculture and allied activities, then loans for pre-harvest and post-harvest activities like spraying, weeding, harvesting, sorting, grading, transporting of their own farm produce, etc. And loans under KCC, loans to distressed farmers, means they are indebted to other non-institutional lenders. Then loans to SME for purchase of land for agriculture purpose. Then loans against pledge, hypothecation of agriculture produce, including warehouse receipts for a maximum period of 12 months, subject to a limit of 50 lakhs. Now here there was a update, like it's 75 lakhs against Negotiable warehouse receipts are electronic negotiable warehouse receipts. 50 lakhs for others. The loans to farmers for installation of solar agriculture pumps and solarization of grid connected to agriculture pumps. The loans to farmers for installation of solar power plants on barren and foreign land are in strict fashion on agriculture land owned by farmer. These are the things which are coming under the agriculture farm credit. Now coming back to farm credit, corporate farmers, mainly corporate farmers, FPOs, FBCs, partnership farms, cooperative farmers, all engaged in agriculture and allied activities. So these are normally loans to corporate farmers, FPOs, FBCs, companies of individual farmers, partnership farms, and everything they are increased in directly engaged in agriculture and allied activities up to some specified limits. Now we'll go through what all this eligible, like a loans up to limit of rupees 2 crore per borrower for the following, like crop loans, medium and long term loans, loans to pre-harvest and post-harvest activities, loans up to 50 lakh against pledge and hypothecation of agri produce for a period not greater than 12 months, loans up to 5 crore per borrowing entity, but they should be marketing up to their product at a predetermined price. That is the criteria. And here UCBs are not permitted to lend cooperative farmers. Agriculture infrastructure. I hope getting clear, friends. In case of any doubt, please post me there so that I can just in between go through. Yeah, PDF jarur milega. I will be just after this. If this target is also prevailing currently, I'll be just posting after this session over. Screen not visible, Mr. Ankit. Anybody facing the same problem? Screen not visible. This PDF file we will be sending after the session is over. First, the recorded video will be available on the app and website, and the PDF file will be forwarding to you in due course. It will be available in the app itself. You can download. Anybody facing the same issue, like screen not visible? Okay, fine. If it is visible, we can just go along. Now, agriculture infrastructure. The loans for agriculture infrastructure subject to agriculture sanction limit of rupees 100 crore per borrower. This includes the loans for construction of storage facilities like warehouse, market yards, godowns and silos, including cold storage unit and all. Then soil conservation and watershed development, plant tissue culture and agrobiotechnology, production of seeds, biofertilizers and vermicomposting, and loans for construction of oil extraction and processing unit for production of biofuels, the storage, and along with loans to entrepreneurs for setting up compressed biogas plants. These are coming under that agriculture infrastructure. Ancillary services. Loans up to 5 crores to cooperative societies of farmers for disposing of produce of members, but it's not applicable for UCBC. The loans for food and agro processing up to aggregate sanction limit of 100 crore per borrower. The loans up to 50 crores to startups engaged in agriculture and allied activities. The loans for setting up agri clinics and agri business centers. Loans to custom service units managed by individuals and institutions who maintain a fleet of tractors, bulldozers, well boring equipment, threshers, and undertake farm work on contract basis. These all are coming under ancillary services. Then bank loans to primary agriculture credit societies, that PACs, FSS, LAMPs, for on lending to agriculture. Loans to loan sanctioned by banks to microfinance institutions for on lending to agriculture. Loans sanctioned by banks to registered NBFCs other than microfinance institutions as per conditions specified. Also, the outstanding deposits under RDF, Rural Infrastructure Development Fund, and other eligible fund with NABARD on account of priority sector shortfall means they might have deposited some this one due to non-achievement of their target. So they will also be coming up here. So who are small and marginal farmers? This used to come in a lot of exams. There's at least 1 mark questions, 0.5 mark questions, lot of questions used to come in. At least what is this? So for the purpose of computation of achievement of sub-target, SMF will include farmers with landholding of up to 1 hectare. They are normally marginal farmers. Then farmers with landholding of more than 1 hectare and up to 2 hectare, they are small farmers. The landless agricultural laborers, tenant farmers, overall Lycians are sharecroppers whose share of landholding is within the limits prescribed by SMF. Loan to self-help groups and joint liability groups, that is group of individual SMFs directly engaged in agriculture and allied activities. But they have to maintain, the bank has to maintain a disaggregated data of such loans. The loans up to 2 lakhs to individuals solely engaged in agricultural activities without any accompanying landholding criteria. The loans to FPOs and FPC for individual farmers and cooperatives of farmers directly engaged in agriculture and allied activities, where the landholding of share SMF is not less than 75% subject to loan limit prescribed. As mentioned there also, UCBs are not permitted to land cooperative of farmers. Lending by banks to NBFCs and MFIs for lending to agriculture. The bank credit extended to registered NBFCs and MFIs which are members of RBI recognized by SRO. But these are not applicable to RRBs, UCBs, SFBs, and LABs. Bank credit to registered NBFCs other than MFIs towards on lending for term lending of component under agriculture will be allowed up to rupees 10 lakh per borrower. Again, they are not applicable to RRBs, UCBs, SFBs, and LABs. Now let's come to MSMEs. Agriculture, the first category is over. Now we are moving into second one, MSME. Now the definition of MSME, actually this has been revised. So the revised definitions with effect from July 1st, 2020, Gazette notification dated so and so. A composite criteria of 5 terms of investment had been introduced. Like it was existing was the above one, like manufacturing sector's investment it's 25 lakhs, then service sector enterprise is 10 lakhs, then small it's 5 crore, then 2 crore for service, 10 crore and 5 crore for medium. This is what existing now revised risk classification that had been made into composite criteria. Means as investment and annual turnover. For both manufacturing and the service sector, micro enterprise means it's investment less than 1 crore and turnover of annual turnover of 5 crores, less than 5 crore. Small, it's investment less than 10 crore and annual turnover of less than 50 crores. Means it's after 1 crore to 10 and 5 crore to 50. And here it's less than 50 crores and it's less than 250 crores. It has been defined like that. Now MSME loans eligible for priority sector. All banks loans to MSME as defined by Government of India, mainly they are eligible. Then loans up to 50 crores to startup, they are also eligible. All loans sanctioned to units in Khadi and village industries will be eligible for classification under sub-target of 7.5% of prescribed MSME. The loans to eligible entities involved in assisting the decentralized sectors like the supply of inputs and marketing of output of artisans, village and cottage industries. They are also coming under MSME in priority sector. then loans to cooperatives or producers, sanctioned by banks to NBFC, MFIs and other MFIs, then registered MFIs other than MFIs, registered NBFCs other than MFIs, then credit outstanding under general credit cards like artisan credit card, Lagu Dami card, Swaraj credit card, Weavers card, etc. Then overdraft to PMJDY, then outstanding deposits with SIDBI and Mudra, with recourse factoring transactions, where the assignee is a MSME, they will be eligible to counter as MSME category, but they are not applicable to RRBs and UCBs. Factoring transaction pertaining to MSME is taking place through trades. This also not applicable to RRBs and UCBs. Till now it's okay, friends. The second category MSME is over. Now we will be moving into export credit. Please post your any query and voice nice. Anybody getting my voice not? Hi friends, how are you all? I hope everything is smooth and going fine. And I'm sure that you all may be knowing about our latest new batch. We had started on RBI circulars and very important updates and current affairs and in banking and finance industries. And this is only created to help you in clearing all your JAIIB CAIIB exams, updating yourself with the latest RBI circulars, and updating yourself with the current affairs which is going in the banking and finance industry. And apart from those, we will be also be bringing out some important tips and guidelines to help you out in your day-to-day banking activities, like your DA cases, like your loan recovery initiatives, like your deposit mobilization issues, whatever the issues which you are facing in your day-to-day banking life. We will try to cover all those also. We will try to bring some experts in this particular sector, like retired senior bankers and all other people, and they will be guiding you in how you can go through this banking life in a smooth way. Thank you all friends. We will be hosting this session on every Sunday at 10 a.m. Please make sure to join this session and make use of it. Thank you. All the very best.